if you want to cut your range in half, that's what this is for. Hello people, welcome back to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian.
I'm Craig.
And we are in front of a power station today.
That's pretty cool. We're going to review a power station?
Well, we're going to review the other side of the power station.
Oh, yeah,
It takes to power this thing right here. So this is not the all-new 23 because no one can get them. This is a 22 Ford Lightning Pro. We have not driven the Pro yet. And a little secret to you, this is probably our favorite trim of the Lightning. We've driven them all now. Well, save for the Lariat, that's next week. That's coming next. But this is the long-range battery, and they all-wheel drive, so they're all dual motor. And in our experience, these guys right here, before we get into anything else, these are called 18-inch wheels, Craig. They're called not 22s, not even 20s. They're called good sidewall, good ride quality.
Good brown walls.
Well, these are brown walls. We've been using this truck, and also a lot less rotational mass. This thing right here boogies better than the Platinum does. We have empirical data to show that. We'll show you that in the 0-60 test in a minute. Also, we've dyno tested the Platinum before. The dyno was not available for this one because that was a custom-made dyno that has now been shipped off. Couldn't get it done, but we suspect the numbers are similar. Check out our link below for the dyno video on the Platinum from last year. But anyways, I digress. These are Michelins. These are the Primacy XCs. They're not in all-terrain, but they have good siping, and they remind me of their old all-terrain that they had. Not the KO2s, not the BFGs, the Michelin side of the company. They're really quiet on the highway, like really quiet.
Yeah, it's a very, it would be maybe a very mild all-terrain.
Very mild, it can handle dirt pretty well. This siping is going to push a lot of silt out of the way.
It's a really good all-around tire.
It's just a good all-around.
It's just all-terrain.
They claim all-terrain. I'm not going to call this really all-terrain. I'm going to call it most terrain. So, looks. What do you not get with a Pro? And the number one thing you don't get, and all the kids that are going, oh, where's the light bar? Doesn't go across the light bar. That's a $20,000 light bar if you want it. Yeah. I would give it up, is what I'm saying. Fair. So you do maintain really good headlights.
What do you mean by a $20,000 light bar?
Well, the price gap between this trim and the next trim effectively is, it's not 20 grand, is it 10 grand?
No,
is it really 20?
You're right.
Golly, I was hoping I was wrong about that. But the other problem too is pricing has changed since this truck came out. This one starts at $39,000. But with all the options, it's just about like mid-50s. This thing today, you can't get the extended range with a Pro. And to get the features that we have on this one, based on build and price, without the extended range, is almost $65,000.
Yeah.
So what's happened is Ford has said, no dealer, you're not getting markup. We're going to keep that for ourselves, which I understand that. And what will happen is that as the market shift and actually make these, there'll be rebates sitting on the hood of these. But until then, kind of unobtainium. Now, the downside. This purposefully is flat black to look less nice than the other trims. I'll admit, the cross LED that would connect between here and here and gives you this kind of C-clamp bar will look really cool. We've seen that, we like it. I'm willing to let it go if you can really get these for less than 50 grand. This is a lot of truck for less than 50 grand. So let's come around here and check out the other side. This right here, you can see it's Pro. This is where the juice goes in. There's your level 2 charger, and if you have a DC fast charger capability, that's it right there. Now, if you're working with Ford, most likely you're gonna be using Electrify America. That's their primary partner with stuff. And we've charged Ford stuff there, it works, it is fast, faster than your home stuff, but I'll be honest with you, if you have this at home, you're gonna have to have a level 2, no question about it.
At least.
At least. When I get home around 6 p.m., plug this thing in, when it's at 40%, by 7:20 the next morning, it's at 99%. Now, you wouldn't charge it 100% every day, but when I was handing it off to Craig, he needed some range on it. It's just, you gotta plug it in as soon as you get home. Treat it like your cell phone, plug the thing in, keep it up. It can work, but the other problem is to make this as fast as it is and tow as much as it is, there's a massive battery underneath. In fact, come look at that. There's a huge skid plate grid down here to keep it safe. Make sure it's not punctured. We will be testing it on the off-road trail here in a minute. It does serve its purpose, but this whole belly is all battery. And that thing just takes a long time to charge up. That's really all there is to it. Out back, there's a little secret in here. Poke in here, Check out that live axle. Oh, wait. That's not a live axle.
That looks like a lower control arm.
That's a lower control arm. This has 4-wheel independent suspension, and it's the first mass-produced 4-wheel independent pickup truck. No one's talking about it. It's a big deal. And on these 18s, it rides incredibly well. And the shock tuning is really good, right where it should be. And we're running it empty. So I'm sure it rides even smoother with more weight in it, but it's the right balance most of the time. Before we wrap up the outside, the back is just a tailgate. On the Platinum, you get this cross panel in the middle. I think this looks clean. There's no excuses as a pickup truck. Yeah, you got your lightning bolt. Traditional plug-in, 7-way plug there, 4-way there. If you want to cut your range in half, that's what this is for. As soon as you plug it in, the computer goes, uh-oh, and cuts that range down for sure. And yeah, there's Ford stamped everywhere. Let's see, does it have the
Whoa.
Does not have the power tailgate, but it's a lot lighter. You can actually close it on your own. Check it here. This does have the power station option, which is super awesome. This has the largely publicized, oh, the power's out, I'll charge my house off the truck option. The downside of that is that the truck has to get recharged again at some point too. So it is a rolling battery pack. The Power Boost is a real version of that. You put gas in it, you keep going. One last look, check out the rear suspension. Look how beefy those shock mount bolts are. Those are huge. It looks like it's off heavy equipment. All that covered, let's check out the interior.
Ron forgot to talk about the powertrain, so let's see what's under the hood.
Oh, okay, all right.
And now, again, oh, that's right, we don't have anything under here. We have a frunk. Knew that, of course, joking around a little bit, but plenty of goodies, plenty of storage. You got a little storage in here for your cable, which Ford provides one, which works great, actually, for level 2 at home, like Brian talked about, which you need to do. What you do is when you get home, you pull this out immediately. That's what you do. You pull it out immediately.
Solved.
But it's great for groceries. You actually did that earlier. I put some groceries in here that didn't slide around all over the place. I did haul some chairs from the other day, and I accidentally hit the little emergency escape button, and it didn't like it when I was driving.
While you're driving?
Yeah, it didn't like that.
Okay, okay.
But Brian,
well, hang on. What, did it open? What happened? I'm curious.
It kind of got hung up because the chairs were kind of hung up, and it just alerted me, hey, you need to fix that before you go any further. And so I pulled over and I fixed it.
But it didn't do this. It didn't.
No, it did not pop up because I was going at speed.
I was curious. Okay.
And then right here, you can look, have a party up front. This is the ultimate tailgate vehicle, as long as you don't use too much juice because you want to get home. So
also, isn't there a drain plug in here? You can put ice in this.
There is a drain plug in there. You can put ice in there, Brian. But here's what you're supposed to put in here. That's those golf clubs. Yeah, golf clubs. So that's 2 golf clubs and hold 2 of them.
All right.
That's what that's really for. So pretty, but this is really neat. Not very many vehicles you get storage up in the front of the vehicle.
That's a big deal.
And Ford does this with the Mach-E and this. I don't understand EVs when you pop this open and there's just,
I feel like Ford's the packaging trick has really worked here.
Yeah.
Also, extra trick, if you're ever going to jump someone's car off, it doesn't. It is a 12-volt system under here.
Yes.
You have to remove all these little clips.
Yeah, and then you
all the way around.
And back here.
Well, you can do it there,
Yeah.
but if you pull this panel off, there's 2 prongs.
Yeah.
Here as well. So
and here's another little Easter egg for you, Brian. 1913. Probably the first electric something. We can look it up, but we'll let y'all look it up. So
looks like Kitty Hawk.
Yeah, who knows? All right, let's get to the back. Brian, looking on back here, this is the Ford Pro spec. So the first thing you're going to notice is vinyl floors.
Okay. I kind of like that.
This is not leatherette, Brian. This is actually vinyl. They're just going to tell you.
Hey,
for some reason.
Wait, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Is leatherette much better?
No, leatherette's not better. Here's my point. Ford doesn't lie to you. For some reason, well, not Ford. Truck manufacturers, when they put leatherette in a car, they just call it vinyl.
Right.
So anyways,
Volkswagen calls it leatherette.
Yeah, so anyways.
Yeah.
But, Brian, this is the stripped truck. Let's open these seats.
Holy
Look at that
crap.
flat floor. There's nothing in the way. I put some tables in here I had to transport the other day. I didn't want them to slide around in the bed, and they didn't fit in the frunk. They fit right here. No problem.
You know who doesn't
do
that?
It was unbelievable.
Ram doesn't do that.
Right.
A lot of people nuts. Give me a flat floor. It's really helpful.
And then for the kiddos back here, you get rear AC, you get the cigarette lighter or cigarette, thingy.
The obsolete port.
The 120 volts there, and then we get USB A and
get
C.
it all.
Look, this thing powers everything. This isn't just like you could run more than just a coffee pot off that.
Right,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
20 amps.
Jeez.
Most of your outlets at your house aren't 20 amps. They're usually 15 amps. So, all right, let's put these down. Brian, let's check the headroom because that's very important. I've got plenty, but let's see what you've got. I have a feeling because there's not a pano.
Would you look at that, Craig? I could wear a cowboy hat.
How about that?
Like it.
No sliding window. It is the Pro, so keep that in mind. But Brian, plenty of cubbies in the doors, just like any F-150.
Coupler.
Look, that's all just Ford F-150 stuff. Ford knows how to make a truck. Let's get to the front though and talk about some more lightning features. All right, moving up front. Don't need a side step for this thing. Just jump in. Because it's rough, Brian. It's got vinyl. It's got look. You can handle it. Okay.
It's tough, is what you mean.
Here's what I want to show. I want to turn the truck on. First off, yes, it's on. You didn't feel a vibration like you do with any other ICE motor. It's on. I don't know how many people I've had get in this car and are like, is it on? Is it on? Is it on? It's kind of a joke now. Is it on? Yes, it's on. Okay. But here's what's cool. You get let's show the people this. Show the people. You get a nice digital gauge cluster here, which with all the information you want. Miles per kilowatt hour, that's basically your miles per gallon. You get your range on your battery, you get your charge and recharge. You get temperature things here, which I'm not sure we'll figure out here in a minute.
Those are motor and battery temp.
Motor and battery temp, okay, because they both have like battery icons, so it's kind of confusing. I think that's supposed to be a motor, that's supposed to be a battery. I could have it backwards. You get Pro trailer on this one, that's an option. You get dual zone climate control, which I think is standard in all the Pros, which is amazing. You get this is actually the smaller screen in the Lightnings. The top trim Lightning, it goes portrait mode, and it's really long. Honestly, I like this one better. I think it's a better use. And then, Brian, of course, we get more cigarettes, lighters, and then 20 amps, so you can do all kinds of stuff. In fact, let's go into here. Let's see the Pro Power on board. You can actually do up to 9.6 kilowatts, and it's actually quite incredible. So you got your front power, the in-cab power, and then what Brian showed you in the bed power. Total output 9.6 kilowatts. The best you can do in the F-150 gassers is the hybrid. You can do 7.2. This is the max. That's pretty cool. Brian?
You want to drive it or what?
Let's drive it. Let's see how fast it is. Okay. Right, Brian. Time for the lightning bolt. Let's see what kind of times we can get. You got advanced track.
Off
now?
Yep.
You got normal mode or sport?
We've done sport already off camera. Let's try normal right now.
All right, hit it. Whoa! Jeez.
What's our speed? What's the number?
Oh, 0 to 60 in 4.14.
Okay, so I ran it empty with less wheel spin. Empty meaning you were in
Yeah,
gear.
yeah.
And it came with not much camera gear. 3.96 with wheel spin.
Yes.
Just less of it in sport mode. So sport mode is the mode to be in. Golly.
And look,
Well,
that's the EV trick.
Look, Mustang GT is super excited that with the 10-speed auto in the Coyote, you can get under 4 seconds.
Yeah.
This will do the same thing.
And it's a full-size truck.
It's
that
heavy.
weighs 6,900 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
I took it across the scales at work. It's heavy.
Yeah.
Now that's the EV trick. The EV tricks do that. The problem is, though, they're really heavy.
They're really heavy.
And so I've got some dirt roads I like to take trucks on and things that have built. These have the right tires for it.
Right.
It pushes like crazy. You feel that weight through a corner, especially on loose
nose heavy too.
Loose surface. But then you're in sport mode and you kind of get on it and you can kind of do the all-wheel drive, flick it through the trick.
You can WRX it around.
You can WRX it a little bit, although there's a lot of push up until that point. So
well, but
it's a little unnerving.
WRX, it does that too.
That's true.
Now, the part of that is if you watch the power delivery display on here and you launch it, it's front-wheel drive bias.
It is.
All the time. That's why the wheel spin's happening there.
Which is wild.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
But with low traction surfaces, you can power out of a lot of problems.
Okay, so we talked about, you mentioned ride and drive. It's so good because of these tires. Last time we didn't have these tires.
Right.
How good does this thing ride?
Awesome.
Is this the best riding truck outside of the Raptor?
No, because the Trimmer is the best riding truck.
Good.
But this is really close.
It is right up there.
It's probably the best balanced truck because the Trimmer's a little bit wallowy as a trade-off. This has no trade-off.
There's not very many times I'm in this truck and I hit a washboard or something or an uneven surface and I feel like, oh, I'm in a truck. I don't get that feeling that often in this.
And that's the 4-wheel independent suspension and the balanced weight distribution because the battery's so long.
And the sidewall of the tire.
And actually, that's it, because this in Platinum trim, which we had last time with 22s, does not ride great.
Okay, speaking of pro things, we also get great headlights. Yes. You had a chance to drive this at night.
Yep. This
is the strip truck. And tell me about these headlights.
So, just like Mazda, you turn in and this thing's zigging when you're zagging the same way, and the throw is incredible.
It is.
They're awesome.
Why can't we get those headlights in an F-150 that's not electric?
How can you buy a halogen bulb in a 150 today? It just seems wrong to me.
Man, these are awesome headlights.
Yeah.
There's not much else to the ride and drive that we hadn't already talked about in another Lightning?
No.
Anything else to add?
Honestly, it's so similar to the Platinum, but it blows my mind how well the tire makes that big of a difference. And I know it doesn't look as cool, and everyone's like, ooh, vinyl seats. I get it.
Sure.
There's a company called Cat Skin Leather. And I've experienced this both at events and in families that I know, their vehicles. The fit and finish is OE quality, and it's better leather than you can get in a Lariat in this. So just do that.
Get the cat skin.
Be done with it.
You'll spend way less money than you would have on a Lariat or anything else. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I do want one more thing I want to touch on before we leave.
Okay.
Because you are saving the planet.
Are you?
Quote unquote. There's a debate there. I don't want to get into that debate.
Tell us in the comments if you think we're saving the planet or not.
Y'all debate it below. But I want to talk about its efficiency.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So what are we getting right now?
Well, on this drive right now, during the review, 1.5 miles per kilowatt hour.
Okay, and they don't give us MPGE numbers inside the cars. No electric car gives you MPGE numbers, even though that's what the EPA gives you everywhere.
Right.
It's really annoying.
Big disconnect.
So it's hard to kind of connect things.
But they all give you this in the car.
They all give you the miles per kilowatt hour, or
Right.
MPK. I'm going to start calling it MPK.
Okay.
So we're getting 1.6. At best, we're getting 2.1.
Right.
On average, maybe 1.8, 1.9.
Yeah.
We found out that there's kind of a similar thing to compare it to gas-wise. What did we come up with?
1.6 is what it's showing now is about 16 miles a gallon.
It's really
in
close.
our experience,
Yes.
because we've reviewed gas versions of the 150 and gotten that number all day long.
Right.
And then on the highway, 2.1 is kind of the best we'll get. Guess what? An EcoBoost gets about 21
About
on the
21.
highway,
It's
at
really,
best.
it's really close to that.
So I'm sure someone will comment below how wrong we are.
Right.
But in our result, it seems, in terms of, let's just round it, make it simple, it's kind of the same.
It's kind of the same. And for comparison, like a Tesla or a Hyundai,
Nissan Leaf, yeah.
we'll get about 30, maybe 32, 33, 3.4 if you're doing everything right.
So a car EV that's still heavy, but lower and better through the wind.
And the equivalent car that gas-wise gets about that.
30, maybe 35.
It's really close. We know it's not the exact science, but look, people that need to drive these cars, they don't need to do a bunch of math. That's
Right.
simple. That's kind of an easy way to think about it. It goes to show you that this is not the most efficient thing.
Oh no, but neither is a 150.
But right, it's a truck. It's a full-size truck, of course. It's not supposed to be.
Better than the Hummer, I promise you that. But I was saying about the same thing. If you're the person that has a bladder of gold and doesn't ever need to pee and can just go cross country and needs to go distance every day, you probably need to look somewhere else.
Right.
Power boost, that's probably what you need to do.
There you go.
Or let's be honest, Cody. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. We have a Lariat trim coming up next on this, and then something really special after that. See you next time.
See ya.